Oh boy. Oh boy. Boku no Hero, My Hero Academia, manga chapter 270. This arc's getting crazy, man. This arc's getting crazy. But let's be honest, ever since the whole Shirakumo situation, months ago, every single chapter, every single week has been a banger. Banger after banger after banger. Every chapter. Horikoshi knows what he's doing because the heroes have been in control for way too long. The heroes have been in control since the beginning of this arc. And if you've read any other war arc or watched any other war arc, if you just read manga in general, in these type of arcs, every 10 or a dozen or so chapters, the tides are going to flip-flop. You know what I'm saying? The heroes can't be taking W's throughout this whole arc. We knew at some point there was going to be blood shed on the hero side too. Because the villains have been taking nothing but L's. L's after L. Redestro, body. Twice, dead. The Doctor, L. He's a walking L. But now it's time for the heroes to take some L's. And that's what I love about this series. When things get dark in My Hero Academia, it just automatically reminds me of the whole situation with All For One when he first showed up, way back in season 3 of the anime. When he first showed up, and Deku was narrating just how evil and disgusting All For One was, and it was making they envisioned their own deaths. That's how evil this man was, on some Sasuke versus Orochimaru type shit in the Forest of Death. Honestly, Shigaraki, he's more brutal. Thinking back on that situation, All For One wasn't out for that much blood. He was trying to kill All Might, yeah, but he wasn't just trying to. All Might could have destroyed that whole city if he wanted to. But Shigaraki's built differently. Shigaraki, he's said multiple times, his only goal is to watch the world burn. He just wants to kill everyone and everything and decay everything. He wants to decay the entire world, starting with Japan. So the name of the chapter is called Succession. And it starts off with President Mike hauling the Doctor down the hall of the laboratory, trying to bring him to, the rest of the pro heroes, notably Endeavor, Miracle, all the rest. And President Mike tells the one-eyed X-ray hero, I don't know his name, but he's so useless. Can we all agree that he's going to be the first to die out of every hero here? So President Mike tells Exless to deal with Shigaraki's, unconscious body on the ground, while President Mike pretty much brings the Doctor to Endeavor. Exless notices that one of the machines wasn't destroyed by President Mike's attack. It's still on. And if you remember correctly, Shigaraki's sitting in a pool of water right now, of liquid from President Mike destroying his capsule. So the Xless hero, or whatever, he's so useless, he's going to die. He basically says that he has to destroy that machine because it was still on. Just a hero's instinct. So as all this is happening, President Mike's having a conversation with the Doctor as he walks into Endeavor. And the Doctor confirms that the quirk that he's using to keep himself alive, the Doctor's quirk, is something he got from All For One. The Doctor should have died decades ago because he says that he'd be at least 120 years old if he didn't have the quirk. Now, what's interesting about this is that we kind of get some backstory to the Doctor, which is good because when he dies, it's going to be a lot more meaningful, and it's going to add to his character as a whole. But this is when things get dark. The Doctor starts smiling in the most creepy way possible. Horikoshi's drawn the Doctor with a lot of creepy expressions over the last 10 or 12 chapters, but this one's just as creepy as the rest. And as soon as he smiles, we know when any villain smiles, he knows that he's got something up his sleeve and things are going to go his way. Not to mention, the Doctor's crying this entire time while he's talking to President Mike. But as soon as we see that smile that creeps President Mike out, we go straight to Shigaraki in his dream world or of some sort, which I assume is just a parallel to Deku's dream world where he sees all the past users of One For All. Shigaraki's looks a little bit different because he's basically standing on a piece of rubble. There's a city below him, and he's surrounded by a bunch of hands. The hands that he used to wear on his body, his old villain outfit, before he destroyed all of them in the My Villain Academia arc. All those hands are surrounding him, And he sees, the typical shonen Tokyo Ghoul-esque flashback of the people that aren't alive anymore, starting with his sister, his mom, his dad, all of his family that he killed in the My Villain Academia arc show up, and he's talking to them. And this is when you really notice how screwed up in the head Shigaraki is. I mean, this can't be a Naruto situation. This can't be an Obito situation. Deku's not going to be able to talk no jutsu Shigaraki. He's too far gone. He's too messed up in the head. And I think that's something Deku's going to have to learn, that not all villains are savable. You can't save every villain. You're going to have to kill some villains. And Deku's going to have to kill Shigaraki. Someone's going to have to kill Shigaraki, because all he sees, he doesn't see his family anymore. All he sees is destruction. All he wants to do is kill people. And I think it's going to take All Might's death by the hands of Shigaraki for Deku to finally realize that Shigaraki's not worth saving. So in the dream world, his mother asks him if he still wants to be a hero, like he did when he was a kid. Shigaraki doesn't respond. He tells her, "I'm fine," which just proves that he's okay with what he wants to do. He's okay with massacre. He's fine with it. He still has that resentment for his dad, which is shown in the symbolism of him destroying his dad's hand, and his dad's hand turns into all these fingers that shatter around Shigaraki. And Horikoshi does a really good job. I feel like he's gotten some Tokyo Ghoul inspiration for this chapter, because Shigaraki's hair throughout this chapter keeps on changing from black to white constantly. Like in some panels it's white, in some panels it's black. Kind of reminds me of Kaneki's whole transformation. But after neglecting his family in pretty much every panel that they showed up in, a shadow of All For One pops up, and Shigaraki notes that All For One kind of looks like Kurogiri in this dream world, which is, I don't know if Horikoshi's going to expand on that even more with, All For One's connection to Kurogiri and why Kurogiri is so important. I would assume that they're going to explain that at some point. But we see Shigaraki walk into All For One's arms, neglecting all of his family members, including Nana Shimura, which is in the flashback too. He basically decays all of them, holding him back, which is a really fucking beautiful shot. I can't wait till that gets animated with the OST in the background. So now we transition back to the present, and Shigaraki's still laying in that puddle of liquid. The X-Ray hero is still staring at that machine that wasn't destroyed by President Mike's scream. And all of a sudden, the machine just shoots out a jolt of electricity that electrocutes all the liquid that Shigaraki was laying in. And it provides that surge that, if you remember, the doctor mentioned last chapter that the only thing that could wake Shigaraki up at this point is a surge of electricity, which is what that remote was for before President Mike destroyed his eardrums. The shock electrocutes Shigaraki's body, and he begins to get up like a possessed demon, and that's the last we see of Shigaraki. And of course, the X-Ray hero, the fodder hero that's about to get disintegrated by Shigaraki, doesn't even notice that Shigaraki's body's just rising right next to him. But this is big, because now that Shigaraki's alive, the doctor pretty much confirmed that, and All For One pretty much confirmed that Shigaraki, he has All For One's quirk. Shigaraki is the successor for All For One. And All For One's been saying this since the beginning of the series, but now it's official. This is equivalent to the time when Deku had to eat All Might's hair to get the quirk. Shigaraki has the quirk now. And Shigaraki's decay quirk was already one of the most overpowered quirks in the entire series. He can destroy an entire city if he wanted to now. But you're going to add that decay quirk to All For One's quirk? He's a monster. He's a nightmare. In the last page of the entire chapter, the chapter ends with these words: "A nightmare is approaching." He's a nightmare. There's going to be deaths. There's going to be multiple deaths. I don't think there's just going to be one death. This X-Ray hero is dying. He's dying next chapter. Whether or not Horikoshi decides to continue with the whole Shigaraki shenanigans, or head over to the mansion and show us what's going on with Tokiyami, Hawks, and Dabi, or if he's going to continue with Deku. As soon as Shigaraki rises from the puddle, we actually do get to see Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki, and Uraraka. Everyone we haven't seen since the beginning of this arc. We see them for a brief moment. They're evacuating everyone out the city, as they're told Burnen's leading them. But Deku's crossing the street and his heart beats. You can see the sound effects of his heart beating. And he's sweating. He notices that Shigaraki just woke up. Or he notices that something bad is about to happen. Now, there's been a lot of theories out there that Deku's connected to All for One. And this honestly kind of gives fuel to that fire because Deku, for all we know, Deku is nowhere near the hospital at this point. And he notices Shigaraki awakening before anyone else, even the people in the hospital. Mirako, she was said to notice that he was a monster or whatever because of her bunny instincts. But Deku, he's miles away from the hospital and he notices that things are bad. Things are really bad. I don't know if Midoriya is going to end up fighting Shigaraki this arc because Midoriya he's outmatched. He's outclassed. Shigaraki's a monster. He's damn near on All for One's level. And we know that I feel like Deku and Shigaraki are going to have a meeting. They're going to have a conversation, but I don't think they're going to fight. Deku would die unless he activates Float, which would be Deku's going to activate Float. He's going to activate Float this arc, but I don't think it's going to be a fight. I think it's going to be an altercation between the two, because if it was a fight, Deku's dead. He's not beating Shigaraki. Simple. Now, I've been loving everything going on with Shigaraki for the last 2 or 3 chapters, but I kind of want to get back to Dabi. Dabi's my favorite villain in the series. Hawks is one of my favorite characters in the series. Tokiyami's one of my favorite characters in the series. I want to see Dabi versus Tokiyami, or just what's going to happen with those 3 at the mansion right now. I love the whole Shigaraki stuff, and I wouldn't mind another few chapters showing the massacre that's about to, the onslaught, the slaughter of what's about to happen down in that basement. But damn, let me just get a little bit. Let me just get a little bit Horikoshi. Let me get a little bit of that boy Tokiyami, because that boy clean. Tokiyami's one of my favorite characters in the series. I'm sorry, but it looks like we're gonna have to wait another 2 weeks for the next chapter, which I don't mind because, like I said, every chapter has been a banger for the last few months. I have no doubt in my mind that the next chapter is going to be dark. I have no doubt in my mind that the next chapter is going to be bloody. I have no doubt in my mind that that X-hero, whatever, X-ray hero, that fodder character, he's going to get murdered. He's not even going to get to the second panel of the next chapter. The very first panel is going to be Shigaraki Thanosing that nigga, bro. He's dead. He's gone. His purpose was 2 chapters. He's dead. That's going to be the first death on the hero side. I'm assuming many more are going to die. Things are getting dark from the look of it. Deku pretty much confirmed that on that last page, but this is my first manga review. I'm planning on filling the channel up with a bunch of these every time a My Hero chapter comes out. Just switching up content a little bit. I'm still going to post the type of videos that I've been posting ever since I started my channel, but I'll try to have a My Hero Academia manga review video out the day it comes out, or hopefully the day the spoilers come out. But if you don't like spoilers, I'll make sure to not spoil it in the thumbnail or anything like that. But if you like my content, hit me with a like, subscribe to the channel. More manga reviews coming up.